Well, Cappy is back in the Northern Command, and Cappy's still sick. I'm not ill. Like I don't have the fever or anything anymore. I just can't. This cough. You thought I had a bad cough before. So because I was sick, I had for the first time. I can't remember the last time. 2.5 days to sit and just watch television, and so I watched a bunch of stuff that I wanted to watch. I say, "Oh, I'm gonna watch that." And the first thing I watched was this thing called Cyberpunk Edgerunners. And the reason normally I'm not a big fan of anime. It's Lucy with the football. It looks great, and then it just pulls it out from beneath you. You're like, this plot sucks. Where's Ninja Scroll? Where's Akira? And so I had recently watched Berserker, and that was one of those things where the ball was pulled out from beneath. Oh, you gotta watch, you gotta watch, you gotta watch it. 25 years, if I gotta watch it, I watch it. I'm like, I waited a quarter century for this. Kind of like you guys with sex. You wait 25 years to have sex, you finally have. You're like, that's it? I was Berserker. That was or Berserk. That was it. So what piqued my interest on Edgerunners though was it had 100% Metacritic score of the commoners. When you see reviews done by IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, you never take the critic score. Never. Those are the critics, they are paid to lie. Go look up She-Hulk for an example. Where the professionals, the experts, the one who tell you what to think, those people. Oh my God, positive rating score of, I don't know, 89, 90%. And then you go to the audience score. That's who the films are presumably made for, the audience. Remember the audience? Hollywood, you remember the audience? I don't know. But this time, he's gay. Wow. Here's $1 million. You're brilliant. Can you write a sequel? That you follow the audience, but this had 100%. I'm like, whoa, that's impressive. And then the critic score was also very high. I'm like, huh, all right. So I watched it, and understand when it comes to anime, I have two measures by which I score them. There is like kind of the adjusted score, adjusting for the fact it's anime and it's in an inferior category. Is anime inferior? Yes. Yeah, it is. Not the animation. No. And some of the anime could be amazing, and it's better than your average American cartoons, I'll give you that. But given the volume of anime that is produced, very few of it actually is good. And so you always have to adjust for anime. You have to adjust for anime. And then there's the objective score, like compared to what is a good movie, what is a good show, anime or not, American or not, Japanese or not, modern or not. That's the other one I hold it up to. And so for anime, I got to give it an exceptional score. It was very, very good for anime. Excellent, I would say. Excellent. It was excellent for anime. And then for regular movies or just like a show objectively, anime or not, it was very good. It wasn't exceptional. It wasn't excellent. It was very good. And so if you're kind of kicking around watching it, like if you're an anime buff, like you really like the anime, I'd recommend it. But if you're more like me, where you got higher standards, and the only way you're going to watch some things is if you're forced by a flu virus or a cough bug sent from hell itself that basically cripples you in a couch for 2.5 days with Dog of No Real Value. Dog of No Real Value was injured too. We were both sad, pathetic creatures. Oh, we just sat there and it was sad and pathetic. So I if you were, probably not. Yeah, I don't mind the science fiction thing, but let me tell you what it's about and what you can expect. And I won't. Maybe there might be some spoilers. I don't know. I don't care. So it's in the future and everything's cyberpunky, and people get cybernetic implants to make them go faster. And then there's a group of people, they're like hired guns. They got all the cybernetic implants, and they'll do jobs for you. And those are called the Edgerunners. And I never like, well, what? Do they rob banks? Do they bump off people? They're bodyguards? What is it? I never got into that. So it follows this kid. He's 17 years old. I forget his name. And I'll bring it up now because it also happened in what's the other one I watched? I watched the first episode of Super Crooks. Both of the heroes are introduced as being sons of their single moms. And what was it? Samaritan, which isn't an anime. The kid hero was a single mom. I'm like, Hollywood's getting it. Like, oh, hey, I know. Since mom spreads her legs all the time and dad ain't around, we're gonna make it really relatable to modern day American kids. I was like, yes, you did. You did. So he's 17, he's getting in trouble in school, blah, blah, blah. Mom gets killed in an accident. And it's due to a fight between different cybernetic people fighting each other on the road. And she dies, and he's going to this like private school that mom worked really hard to put him through. I say, hey, you know what would be even easier if you stayed married? Be two incomes. Bah, come on. So he's poor, obviously, and he got in for reasons that aren't germane right now to the topic of the hand. And the rich kids pick on him and tell him we don't like your type around here. And he's about to get in a fight with this one rich kid, but the rich kid's got better cybernetic implants. The hero, the kid, the main character, he has no cybernetic implants. So the rich kid has cyber and knows kung fu or something, just beats the ever living crap out of the hero. Well, he lost his mom. He got the crap kicked out of him. Boo doo 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 doo. And he just breaks it. He just breaks. He's like, that's it. I've had it. I've had it. And I was like, okay, cool. I can go with this because this is very similar to what a lot of young people in America have experienced or are experiencing. There's absolutely no hope. Your mom was a cure. Your dad's deadbeat, or he's a pussy and ain't around. No one's told you anything. You got no hope, no money. Not to mention, I'm sure the school. Oh my God, there's people that got more than you, and you should go kill them all. You're so oppressed. And I'm like, okay, I could see this because I knew someone who reached his limit and cracked. So I'm like, they're building a character. This kid is gone. He's going through. Should say he's gone through. He's going through a lot. All right, this is going to be a Mary Sue character. And I think in the second episode, he discovers his mom has a cybernetic spine implant hidden away. And I'm like, oh, okay, we are going to do hey, and now I got superpowers. I was just sitting there watching my television show, and then I saw this thing, and it's mine, and there's no, and now I have it, and now I got superpowers. Like that was quick. Okay. And so in that way, it was that's why it did not receive like a perfect, like, yeah, this is a great anime. One of several reasons to get to where I'm like, oh, okay, we're just gonna do the standard Japanese animation thing where here you are, a shy, bashful kid, and you just get the superpower. You find the Death Notebook. You get a magic fairy who talks to you and makes everything go your way. And so I was like, oh, groan. And he goes to the back alley doctor who does cybernetic implants. Says, Doc, put it in me. Kid, you can't handle it. I don't care. And so he puts it in there. And then that cybernetic implant allows him to go basically the speed of light. So he hunts. It was a pretty good scene. He walks into school and he's late. And the teacher, who's a robot, is like, you are late. Da, da, da. Why are you late? Da, da. And he walks right up to the rich kid, just kicks him right out of his chair. Says, let's go. Let's fight. So the kid's winding up his karate. This guy just dodges it, gets right behind it. Kaplow! I mean, breaks his freaking jaw. And so I'm like, okay, all right, here, this is where it's going to go. And, so I was like, "Kid's got superpower, high school, this and that." And watching the previews, I knew there was a girl gonna be coming along pretty soon. And I'm like, "Please, please, God Almighty in heaven, please, don't do the Baby Driver love plot, okay? Don't do the Baby Driver love plot." What is the Baby Driver love plot? I talked about this before. If you've seen the movie Baby Driver, it's about this kid who has autism or Asperger's, it's not sure which, and he drives the getaway car. Right now, already you know this is fiction on several levels. First, it's the kid. He's like a this is what a 10-year-old movie. He's a 20-something millennial. All right. First, you know it's fiction because that presumes he has his driver's license. We know all 21-year-old millennials didn't have the driver's license. 2, he's driving standard transmission. 3, he knows how to drive it well. I'm like, okay. All right, sure. I'll believe big is beautiful before I believe this plot. So, aside from that outlandish 3 things that no one could ever possibly swallow, the plot wasn't that bad. They just had this dumbass kid who's shy and awkward and all that, and he drives really good. He's the getaway. Meanwhile, they had some really powerful stuff. They had, Jamie Foxx, John Hamm, uh, what's his name? Uh, Lester Burnham, why can't I Kevin Spacey was in it, but the main character was this dopey kid, and you couldn't lie. Okay, you drive the car good, alright. And, already I was not that excited about the movie once I watched the kid, uh, but then it was so painful where because the kid's autistic, they have to have the love interest. There's gotta be a girl, right? Girl comes in. She has to do all the work and be charming and charismatic and pretty and carry that thing for because he goes to a diner. He always goes to the same diner. There's the girl, and she thinks he's cute. And I'm like, are they gonna make it that already this is not believable? A millennial with a driver's license who knows how to drive standard transmission and drives it well. What crazy, unbelievable thing are we gonna add? There's no way you can make it more unbelievable. Watch this. They said, hold my beer. I said, "Oh, no," and they did. So this girl totally hits on him, initiates conversation, gets the number, gives her him the da 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 da. She does everything, and I've seen this in other I've now after watching that, I've watched other movies, and I kinda paid attention to it in the past where watch any movie in the past where there is a male-female interest. In order for it to work, women have to essentially take way they have way too much agency in these movies, and they are way too, on their game and on par with the guy in terms of getting the relationship moving along. Because you have to think you only got 2 hours. If you waited for a girl to get along to like a guy, it'd be a 10-hour, 18-week deal that maybe, okay, now I've so if you watch it, it's clever. I mean, for example, you could even go with Casablanca where the wit and the charm and the flirtation between men and women, whether or not they're romantically interested in each other or not, didn't matter. But like, okay, that's to make the movie go along and to be interesting. Go look back at pretty much any kind of romance. You say a girl wouldn't do that. She wouldn't. You're too enamored with oh how charming and clever and witty is she. And it's like yeah, but that wouldn't happen. But here, because the kid is autistic, it was painfully obvious, like, oh, and then you think of, oh, you're autistic or shy. That'd be more the thing, not because you're autistic, but you're shy, you're not doing anything. This girl just likes you. You haven't said anything. You haven't done anything. This girl just likes you. And that's where it's like, oh yeah, that's like super fiction. Let me guess, she's going to college to major in engineering. Come on, let's just load it up. Load it up. And so, that's I call it the baby driver effect, where a girl just has agency and a set of balls and does all the charm and makes it a layup for the guy and just serve yourself on a silver platter to the guy. So, then sure enough, here's the cool multicolored hair girl to fit modern era, and, she's stealing memory chips out of people's back of the head. In the back of your head, you get an S drive, or a little SD card slot. And I guess they have value or money. And she's just kind of pickpocketing them out of people's back of their necks. So she tries to do the hero's neck, but he's got his super spine on, and he lightning quick grabs her, says, "What are you doing?" And then she immediately, with smooth talk and this and that, and like, "Oh, you need money, you need me, da 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 da," and proceeds to do Baby Driver effect. Immediately, like, leads everything, says, "You're cute," this and that. I think, what did they get in a fight, or not them? They don't fight, but the kid ends up in a. Oh yeah, he ends up in he uses his special power too much, which drains your brain, and then he go into like a coma. So he's in the ambulance, and she's there with him, and they find the ambulance lady who's tending to him, finds out he's got the really good gear on, and she's gonna steal. So she puts a gun to the guy's head, says, "No, I'm sorry, sister, you're gonna have to get out. I know what this guy's got." And of course, she saves him. And she's dressed sexy, and they're going down the highway on the gurney, and she's just stopping them because she's also got cybernetic implants, and that. So she's taking the lead the entire time, and he's just this dopey 17-year-old kid. Oh, okay, yeah, follow. And I was like, okay, well, all right, I guess they had to do that for because that also happens in Japan. New kid comes into school, all the girls love him for whatever reason. Is he good at any sports? No. Is he kind of short and scrawny looking? Yeah. Well, then why do they like him? Because they got to sell it to short, scrawny kids in Japan. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe this relationship will develop. They weren't making out or in love or anything like that. That was just, oh, look, she's the amazing girl that you always want. Right there, served for you, kid, huh? Wow. All right. So that's episode 2. I'm looking and the thing, I'm like, there's 10 episodes. I'm like, they got 8 episodes. So I'm like, oh, is there a second season? No, no second. So I'm like, this is going to climax and peak and wind up in 8 more episodes. And the overall arc, uh, he finds belonging in the Edgerunner group that this girl belongs to. They go do jobs. He makes money, finds the family he never had, drops out of school. But then the female love interest uh, is trying to get something out of evil corporation. To quote, what's his name? Critical Drinker. And they got to go deep diving net and all this other stuff. And also because the kid's got some high end crypto or cybernetic gear, people want it. So there's always occasional fights and everything happening. So in those 8 episodes, instead of developing this plot a little bit more fully, everything gets super rushed. Super rushed. And so here it's like by the 3rd episode, maybe even it was the 4th episode, he's now, oh, they got their family, they're ready to go. I'm like, oh, okay, now we're gonna go on some missions. And they do for like 3 episodes. And then the last 3 episodes is winding it down where it's like, whoa, what the hell happened? And what happened in the next 3 episodes? So you go from like say 5, 6, and 7, maybe it's 4, 5, and 6. He's got his family. The characters are starting to be developed. And then just as quickly as these characters are developed, they're getting knocked off and bumped off one right after another. I think in one episode, 3 of the main characters are gone to the point it's only the kid and the 2 girls. No, the 3 girls. There's a little girl, his love interest, and this kind of weird looking, scary one. So it's him and 3 girls. Everyone else is dead. And then all of a sudden you come into I don't know, is the 7th or 8th episode, and now there's a new guy. Like, where'd he come from? And they go literally from what where they I don't know, they get the heist. They completed the heist. The kid only has his spine implant. They lost most of their crew. It's just him and the three girls now. And the very next episode, all of a sudden, he has a whole new body of cybernetic implants. He's now the leader of this new group. Him and the girl are now living together in a brand new nice apartment. And yeah, and then they had another, they were trying to like recruit people to come into their Edgerunner group. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, wait. He just had one cybernetic implant. Everyone died except for the three other girls. And now, the very next episode, without telling me anything, he's got a whole new body. He's got weapons upgrades up the wazoo. Who's this guy with the mustache? Who's the new kid they're just bringing in? Why are they going here? Where did they get the new apartment? Did him and his girlfriend, are they serious enough they're living together? They barely had any conversation. And then it starts going really fast, where evil corporation finds out the girl is the one trying to hack them. And there's a little bit more subterfuge and plot involved. So they lay a trap. They get the girl, but they lay a trap because they want the kid because he's really resilient to the he can use his powers more without going into a coma, essentially. So the evil corporation wants to study him. So they got to entrap him. So they set up a very elaborate trap where they kidnap the girl. They put a exoskeleton, the latest hardware they have, in this truck. They use it as bait to get the Edgerunners to come out after it. Then they send in their army, and then the Edgerunners like, oh crap, what do we got to do? And then they try and trick the kid to put on that exoskeleton. And the kid doesn't realize that the exoskeleton is a trap, and they're just using him as a guinea pig. He doesn't listen. He puts it on, and now he's got the suit, but he's like stuck in there, but he's got this super. He's a mecha essentially. He controls this big ass mecha, and the drugs they use to counter the use of this special power he's got is starting to get to him. He's starting to lose it. There's this thing called cyberpsychosis where you go crazy, just start killing everything around in you. But he has to maintain his sanity so he can save his girl. And now they're rushing to the evil corporation's headquarters. And I'm like, wait, what? Wait, hold it. I didn't even know what half his new gear was. What? How did he soar through the ranks? He's the rookie kid. It's like Midnight Run. F the bus. I want to know what happened to the goddamn plane. So they're on their way to the headquarters. The military's coming after them. They have this SUV that magically never sustains any damage. He gets to the headquarters. There's a big showdown with this. So they know this the kid's coming with the new armor, right? The exoskeleton. I'm like, oh crap, well, we better cover our six. They say release, I think it's Atom Smasher. And Atom Smasher is this fully cybernetic guy who's like got the even better armor and crypto. I'm like, okay, here we go. Mecha fight. And the mecha fight, I think, lasts 30 seconds before Atom Smasher tears this guy's armor off like it's nothing. Like it isn't even close. And not before the guy saves his girlfriend. He gets her out of the evil corporation's headquarters. And Atom Smasher ends up killing the main character. Now I know that seems like that's kind of a sucky plot, but the story what was told, albeit hurriedly, I did enjoy it. I was kind of like, well, you could have filled it in a little bit more, and you could have, hell, you had a great layout for like 3 seasons here, and then you could get to you had all this to work with. You had the foundation laid down. You could have, and then man, people dying off. Oh, here's the main bad guy. They stole the girl. Boo, 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 boo. Like, oh, he's gonna. Oh no, he's just gonna get the crap kicked out of him and killed. And it's the end. And there's no season 2. And I was like, excuse me, what the hell just happened? And admittedly, it was good. It was very good for anime. Very, it was excellent for anime, but it was very good for television. Not excellent for a regular television because of exactly that. I'm like, wait a minute, you went way too fast. And the only thing I could figure out why the plot was so hurried and why there were just jumps of seemingly years from one episode to the next and developing characters only to kill them off very quickly was because they only had a certain amount of budget. And it is based off of a manga, I guess. And so maybe there was a lot of material in the manga and they had to take a very abbreviated, dieted view of the manga to put together a 10. They say, "Oh, here's your budget for 10 episodes. That's all you're getting. You're not getting any more." And that was too bad. That was too bad because if you stretched it out a little bit, that you it's one of the rare instances where it ended too early and you tried to pack way too much, like it was too dense. Too much was happening. You could have spread it out a little bit. You could have let us develop because people were dying so soon. I'm like, I never got to know that person. Everything indicated that was a very important person and everyone really liked that person, but I only saw that person in like 3 scenes and 3 episodes, and now they're gone. And so if you're alright with that, you wanna see a pretty good anime, yeah, go watch that. But be prepared for a quick ending and a lot of like, "Wait, huh?" The love thing was not believable at all. It just wasn't. They try to have these deep conversations. I'm like, I didn't even see you guys. They go on a date. They go on a virtual date to the moon. That was it. That was the only date. That was about the only romantic thing that happened. And then he's always whining, like, "Why are you going to the corporation again? What's wrong? I just want to know you." "Oh, I can't know you because I'm going to do my Sylvia Plath impersonation and be so remote and distant." And then she's madly in love with him. Like, how can you be madly in love? Nothing happened. What? Unless there was that year that transferred that something happened, but you didn't show it to us. So I did kinda one of the characters I like was there's a short little girl and she's the gunner. She's just this little girl, this little thing. She's got all the guns. And she's just like, "Ah!" And she's like crazy. And she dies pretty quickly. Like, not she's there for a while, but her death is like, boop. Oh, she's gone. Like just like that. But yeah, so that was that. And maybe I'm missing something. Um Maybe you guys know something about it. Aaron Clear Sky. Yeah, about a B. I'd give it a B for overall. Yeah, a B for overall movies. For anime, I give it a B plus A minus. Look at this. Look at this. Who let him in? Yeah, JG, you are absolutely right. Anime would be so good if Westerners wrote it, and not Hollywood Westerners, regular Westerners. It would. You get you get Japanese animators, you get old school American writers, get some jazz. We be say, oh wait, it's called Cowboy Bebop. Okay. Edgerunners was written by sad, desperate blue pill Japanese men. They wrote a plot about a hot girl being instantly attracted to a dorky, socially awkward loser of a man because it's wish fulfillment. Right, but isn't that every anime? Isn't that like tell me what anime that isn't? The high school. The kid goes to high school, new high. All the girls like him, and he's got a magic power. Oh, he's got a talking coffee cup. And, uh, I'm curious if someone else has seen. Okay, here it is. The anime was an intro for us to get into the main 2077 game, and boy, did it do well with sales and players count. So, did it precede the game? Um, Yeah, and also the artwork I thought was good. I like the colors. The colors are kinda a nice thing. Deus Machina's League Superior. Okay, I might have to take a look at that. Uh, True, but it caters to the philosophical side of cybernetics and heroism. Cyberpunk isn't about saving humanity. It's Tarantino's take on cyberpunk. Was an amazing show. Blah blah blah. I like the ending of Edgerunners. It was related. How is it relatable? Have you been killed by a big cyborg? Were you flying around with mecha armor? Did you have a girl you barely knew tell you that she loves you? How is it relatable? I don't think anyone's went through that. No one is important. That's a good observation. Yeah. Cappy, there was no manga equivalent from which the anime derived its plot. The anime is based on the Cyber 2077 video game. Oh, okay. All right. I thought, all right, well then, which now I'm even more confused because that would make sense if there was like this, you know, legacy or a lexicon of work before it where you got to fit all this stuff in and they were only given a certain amount of budget for that. No, I'm not going to play the game. I don't want to play the game. All right, there we go. That's it. I'm going to go on with Masculine Geeks here in a little bit. Check out their channel. I might review Castlevania next. I watched Castlevania the cartoon, which was that was unreal. That was unreal. I'll see you guys later, Toodles.